Keys and gears. So I'm here with Best Dixon local real estate professional, Mark Leishner. I'm a lending professional here in Dallas, Texas. We both work throughout Texas. But we're here today because we want to explain to you and we want to answer the big question. The big question is, how do I find a needle in the haystack? I get that question actually quite frequently on the finance side is, gosh, after talking to Bess, we just don't know how we're going to find this home that checks all the boxes that we're looking for and in the price range that we're looking for and in the neighborhood that we're looking for. Our head is spinning. We don't know. We have no idea. We don't feel that we're going to find that home. And I keep telling them, let Bess do her thing. Bess will find you the right house.
Thank you.
But when she does, I need you to listen to Bess. She has a system, she has a process, and follow that process, and you'll be very happy with the keys you end up getting.
There you
go.
go.
With all that being said, Bess, please explain to us, how do we find that needle in the big giant haystack, which is, by the way, all the different neighborhoods are all haystacks.
There
They're
you go.
all individual
They are each a
haystacks.
haystack.
So how do we do that?
Well, and if you're just joining us, this is part 3 in
Yes,
our
on
home
a home
buying
buying
process series.
Right. Should have mentioned that.
There you go. Well, he is pretty perfect. Every once in a while, he shows his human side. And, well, so how do we find that one? Well, if you and I have connected at this point, we've probably met at an open house, ideally.
Probably.
Or a referral.
Most likely a referral. That's about 70% of your business.
A lot of referrals. Very true. And so with that, I'm going to encourage you to start going to open houses on the regular.
Okay.
On the regular. As far as Bess's process goes.
Yes.
Which was what your serve up was.
I want that. I want to hear about that.
Okay. Number one, you need to understand Bess's rules of engagement, of winning. And that is, we will never go see more than 5 homes at a time.
I like that. And why do you have 5 homes?
Because I do this just like the Beatles have said. They wrote a song about it. Have y'all heard that song?
I'm intrigued.
8 days a week.
Yes.
I love you. Okay. Well, sorry. See, I'm not in the singing profession for obvious reasons. But in other words, I'm passionate about finding keys, about finding cash, whatever, for those that trust me. And it is an all-time thing. And so after 5 homes, very long way to say, after 5 homes, my brain will start turning into mush, and I do this all the time. So you, dear consumer, you can only imagine how your brain's going to go after 5.
What you're saying is too many details to keep in your head and keep it straight in your head.
Because what happens is FOMO is a thing.
Right.
FOMO is a virus in real estate.
Right.
And you do not want to court that virus.
And you're just
not if your intention is to win, not if your intention is to finish the process.
So what you're saying is you're running through these instead of taking your time to actually understand each house and.
Yes and no. Yes and no. And my stop on that is sometimes you open a door and you just know.
Right.
Like back in the day.
That's my experience.
The short sale.
Yes.
The short sale that I went to with a client, and we opened the door and I could see a dirty diaper left in the middle of the kitchen from the front door.
Being a short sale, it's not unusual.
My sweet little cutie patootie buyer that had been saving her money for so long. And this is a house she'd been hounding me to go see. I'm like, I really don't think you want to go see it. Well, we went and saw it. And she opened up the door and she scampered in and she's like, well, are you going to come? I'm like, we're done here. We are done here. And she's like, what the heck? We haven't even seen it. We don't need to see it. It's a short sale. Right. That's another episode. We'll talk about what a short sale is. But these people, they need to sell this house ASAP is what a short sale is. And they had not even bothered knowing we were coming. They had to have a 24-hour notice. So 24-hour notice, they knew we were coming. They left a dirty diaper in the middle of the kitchen.
Didn't clean up.
So do you think that they changed the HVAC filter on the regular?
They did
Do you
nothing.
think they watered their foundation? No. Do you think they did all the things that a house needs to be well maintained in order to keep up the value of their house?
Right.
No.
Right.
No way.
You're buying a bunch of problems.
We are done here.
Yep.
We are done here. Was she angry with me? Yes, she was. When we found the house that was the right house,
she thanked you later.
She was good.
Well, okay, so back to the 5 houses. So can I liken it to the other day I had a tequila tasting, and after the 5th tequila, I literally could not taste anything. Right? Is that kind of the same thing?
Very similar to that.
It's kind of like you saw 5 houses today. Now you got to cleanse your palate and go back and do
There
it
you
again
go.
another day. Let your brain marinate on those 5, right?
Or after a strategic break. So those
Like a
of you that are
lunch or-
relocating to
right.
Texas, don't think Bess is immediately off your
Right.
ideal agent list because I just said 5 and you only have 48 hours in Texas.
Right.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, 5. We go have lunch. We talk about those 5, that sort of thing, and then we go
Are
do
these
another
martini
5.
lunches, or how do they roll?
Well, I refuse to answer that question. Just saying.
That's how I would want to do it.
But back to
Relax
Bess's
for a minute.
process. So we're going to see 5. The first time we go out together to see 5, all right, they're going to be in five different neighborhoods.
Okay.
And they're going to be as close to the same sort of house in 5 different neighborhoods as we possibly can see.
Okay.
As close to similar home as best can
Right.
get them to be.
So you have an apples to apples comparison between neighborhoods.
Correct. And
in terms of
I
product.
want you to get a vibe of that neighborhood. Well, Bess, I don't care about the neighborhood. It's all about the house.
No.
No, it has
Rule number
everything
1.
to do with the neighborhood because it's amazing. If you wake up every day, you look out your window, and there's Mrs. Smith that you know across the street, and there's Susie Q with the twins that's over here,
Right.
and they're walking their dog, and they're doing this, or hey, you can walk over to Whole Foods, or hey, you can walk over here to White Rock Coffee and get a coffee. How that really elevates and creates, it's a big part of your home. Because
And your
yes, we're looking
experience.
at properties, but once we get those keys and you put in your stuff and you start building your memories, it now becomes your home.
Right.
And where that home is located is a big
Location, right?
big part.
So you got to know the neighborhoods. So that's step 1 is go
So we're going to go look at 5 homes that are very similar.
5 different neighborhoods.
Correct.
So you get a feel for that. Then you marinate on that.
Yes. And by the way, while y'all are looking at these 5 different homes, I'm watching you and your reaction to these homes.
Right.
Because these 5 homes are going to be based on your criteria that you shared with me during our buyer chat interview.
Yeah.
We skipped over this little part, but Bess likes to have let's have a coffee chat
Right.
and talk about your home dreams.
Right. How do you live?
And also to see if I'm even a good fit for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
Right.
there's a lot of, like we talked
That's
about
a
before,
really
there's
good
a lot
point.
of real estate agents,
Right.
and not as many, but more, real estate professionals. I am not everybody's cup of tea. Real quick, here we go. We'll just total tangent here. If you are looking for a yes woman, then just go ahead and,
Right.
and,
You're
and
not-
take me off your list.
Right.
Not going to work. Happily contrarian?
Yes.
There we go.
Yeah. And
You're looking for a yes
that's
person.
frankly that's what you want because you do this every day. You do this all day long, every day, 365
And I
days
don't
a
want
year.
you to settle.
Yeah,
I don't want you
exactly.
to settle. So those 5 are based on the absolute criteria that you talked
Right.
about, and they're going to be in 5 different neighborhoods that I thought generally meet your preferred lifestyle that you want to live every day when you're not 9 to 5ing it. That's a real critical component.
So what I hear you saying is, first of all, you have a buyer consultation in the front end where you're asking a lot of questions about, to really nail down what is important. Then you select the 5 homes in the 5 different neighborhoods. Hopefully that will actually solidify what they've told you, not just in their minds, but in your mind. And then secondarily, those 5 neighborhoods they're going to probably start eliminating some of those neighborhoods
Shrink it down.
by having been there and actually experienced the neighborhood and having your expertise to tell them about each of these neighborhoods too, the things that they may not have thought about, right?
Fair
so
enough.
where do we go after that? Then you go to another 5 houses, or how does it work?
Well, beyond that, Bess has some crazy be-only rules that it's better explained face to face. But
Okay.
that's the baseline.
Right.
And I share that as a baseline because that is a general good practice.
So after that, we get into trade craft
There you go.
that you
I
don't
would say,
necessarily want to share
what
with
I just
the
shared
world.
with you is just the buyer consultation where I do more listening and asking of
Yes.
questions than actually chatting.
Yes.
Followed up with a first, let's go meet those neighborhoods. Let's go meet that home in that price point that you say you want.
Yeah.
a full-time real estate professional, that is best good practices
That's
that goes across
that's
the
the
board,
foundation. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Now, the nuances beyond that of how we find the one,
Right.
that is very much almost an agent-to-agent
Right.
specialization.
Right.
There
Yeah.
you go.
And I love the fact that you've limited to 5 homes, because in my experience, really, the buyers that know what they want, that really know what they want, and that's the key, and have been able to explain that to you, you're going to find that home for them fairly quickly.
Yes.
And and we'll do another episode on, hey, I have a house to sell, but I want to buy another one. And how do we do that timing
It's
wise,
doable.
right? Let's do another podcast on that.
And to close on positivity, when I'm working with you, I'm thinking about you all the time. And,
Right.
And I get to invite to a lot of broker,
Right.
Not public homes.
Right.
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 And one in particular, we were stumbling, we were having a difficult time. And I literally walked into the house and I called up the buyer and said, hey, I'm in your house.
Yep.
And we
I
built
found
up
it.
that sense of trust.
Yep, exactly.
That I was able to speak with the agent and she held it for us. We went
That's
and
right.
saw it and they're in it now. They love it. They love that house.
All right, so let's fast forward. Let's say you found a house. Now you find some crazy things happening inside the house. So what are we
Right.
going to talk about? What are
Great
we going to talk
segue
about?
to our surprise of the week.
Crazy
What did
surprise.
Bess find this week?
What
Okay.
did we find this week?
It's a quiz for you. Maybe it's not fair because you and I are about the same
Oh,
decades.
we know what it is, but
But you out there, viewer, do you know what that is? So
what is it?
What is it?
It has a hang crank on it. What could it be?
That is an old school pencil sharpener, and I thought you'll get a kick out of this because this is an old house upgrade.
Yes.
Yeah, there you
Yes.
go.
Yes.
Here's an upgrade from way back when. And why is it an upgrade? Because if you didn't have it attached to the wall where you could get the nice leverage
get
of a
the
crank,
leverage.
you had to do
right.
it with
That's
a
right.
little
A
tiny deal in your
handheld
hand,
one?
and it was a
Oh,
pain in the How many times did you break your fingernails on those
totally.
things? Oh my
Yeah,
gosh!
especially my long
back
ones,
in
yeah.
the day, this was a great. Somebody's parents loved them so much they went and splashed out like what, $3?
Yeah, they were tired. They were tired of
In
the other
the
way.
60s,
Yeah.
and mounted that for their kiddos so they could do their homework without scratching up and making their fingers
If you
bleed.
know what it is, you're this old.
There,
Yeah.
there you go. So, and we hope to never get old for you. Thank you so
Yes.
much for joining us
Thanks
here
for
on
joining.
Kings and Gears. Like, and all the things below, you know the drill,
Yep.
so that you can know about us
Subscribe,
when we drop.
notify, click the bell, whatever it is. All right, we'll see you next time.